In. All right. I think we are live. Sarah can confirm if we're live or not. But what's up, folks? It is what is it? December 27th. I am here with my good friend Gord, and Sarah's in the background because he's got the he's got a burrito and he's got the Witcher fire pit in the background, I believe, right?
Yep, you know it.
Yeah, I know. I was scrolling through Netflix the other day, and I noticed that was on there. I'm like, this is dope.
I've had it on for like 4 days straight.
Oh man, well, looks like it's going there. So that's cool. All these new fireplace apps in high def. I remember when 4K was a thing. One of the only things you could watch on Netflix in 4K was a fireplace. So how far we've come. So welcome everybody. Rob is indisposed. He wasn't supposed to be here, much like Dante, he likes to say. And I guess something came up, so he wasn't able to participate today. We're a little later than normal, so maybe some new faces will be able to join us. Sarah shouts out the Swish LA channel. Is there a Swish LA channel, like a pull-up channel?
There was
just with rotisserie chickens just rotating.
Yes, yeah, we had it like 7 years ago. Yeah, that was the channel that always made you hungry.
Oh man, I would imagine. Yeah, they always talk about that KFC wood burning log. Have you guys ever like? I know you guys probably don't have a fireplace in your place, but would you guys ever rock something? I feel like you'd just be hungry constantly if it just smelled like KFC.
I am hungry constantly, so that would not be good.
Yeah, I don't know what type of carb deficit you run in, Gord, but you are probably like looking to eat something all the time. like the Flash. Like, hey, that's not edible, by the way. So welcome everybody. Anybody who's in the chat. I think Lewis is there, so we'll see if anyone else joins us. But this is the Sidekick Show. Usually we talk about the news. Rob's not here, so I don't have any news. Unless, Cord, you've got some news to break down. Nope. So I did quickly pull some things. If you guys want to look at some fun stuff, Sarah's there too. What's up? So we're a party of four. I don't know if that's a new TV show that we should come up with, Party of Four. But maybe we'll bring it back. But Gord, can I show you some cool stuff and maybe get your input on it?
Always.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to show you guys some stuff that is available for pre-order right now. We're doing some more of the kind of high-end collectibles that are more based on kind of pop culture, a little bit more in the TV movie realm. So we're going with that just because it kind of pertains to a lot of things we cover on our shows. So let's have some fun. I pulled some quick things. So I don't know if you're going to recognize this, Gord. We might have to lean on Lewis here. But does this thing look familiar to you?
Yeah, it's the T-1000.
It looks like a Terminator head, but apparently it is not. It looks very similar. I think it's from Star Trek. So I don't know. I'm going to give Lewis a couple seconds to chime in here if he knows exactly what this is. But I do actually own a T-800 Terminator head prop replica. It's one of the few things that I do own in this kind of collectible replica thing. Is the T-800, the Arnold Schwarzenegger model, your favorite, Gord, or do you have another model?
No, you like gotta go with the classic.
Yeah. Did you ever see Terminator Salvation?
I've seen all of them, regrettably, for some of them. But T1 and T2 are incredible movies. Incredible.
Yeah. I think it's gonna come up when we talk to Matrix, but I'm such a sucker for Terminator stuff. If you ask me about anything Terminator, I'm always like, I love it. I just like, no matter what they do, maybe in hindsight, when I go back and watch them, maybe Terminator 3 wasn't so hot. But at the time of seeing it in the theater, I thought it was great.
That's the best way of putting it. Yeah. You and I are both suckers for that sort of stuff. If it scratches that itch, like I can buy it, regardless of what the plot holes or some of the, as long as it hits you in that nostalgia button, I'm good. So I like seeing all of it. But yes, in retrospect, when I look back, that last one, the last two, I think have kind of been a little weird. Dark Fate wasn't as bad, but the other ones before that were like,
Genesis, I remember really liking it as well. And then when I go back to watch it, not so hot. Dark Fate, I did really enjoy it when we saw it in the theaters. I haven't gone back to revisit it. Salvation, I feel like Salvation's still fun because it's that apocalyptic world that we kind of never get to see. It's got Christian Bale in it. It's got the Arnold digital cameo where they kind of spliced his face on top of that bodybuilder guy who's got like the exact same build that he had back in the day. So I think I'll go back and rewatch it. But yeah, so Lewis has got it here. It is a Borg Queen head and spine from I don't know which Star Trek. Like she says, First Contact. So considered the best Star Trek movie. So this is a pretty cool life-size prop replica of that, and it actually comes with this is I guess this is the girl who did the voice, or the Alice Krieg who played the Borg Queen in the movie, and it looks like she's signing some of your certificates and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. This thing I've got the US price because I was too lazy to convert it, so this one's going to be about $1,500 USD, coming out sometime end of or middle of 2022. So we'll see if that drops on time. I don't know. Sarah's got like Homer Simpson's space head. Get out of town, Sarah. Okay, let's go on to something a little bit easier.
Can you put the two of them next to each other? Because that would be kind of funny. It actually does look like her. Skin melted off. Not hard to imagine.
Oh man, yeah. You know, yeah, I'll give her that. Yeah, the proportions are there, but that's pretty cool. So shout out to you, Star Trek fans. This character, Fennec Strand from The Mandalorian, coming up in the Book of Fett. I don't know if it debuts this week or not, but I feel like it does. I feel like it drops on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah. Oh, there. Lewis says she played her on screen. So I think I do remember. She wore all the prosthetics and stuff like that. So
December 29th, first episode release.
Yeah. Okay. So we're 2 days out. Or if anyone's going to stay up super late on Tuesday, let us know what you thought of it. But this is a Hot Toys figure, 1/6 scale of Ming-Na Wen herself. How do you feel about this likeness, Gord? What are you thinking?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. It's not bad.
It looks pretty much like her at her current age now. She came up with the whole dreadlock hair design and all that kind of stuff. So she's really down with this character. I listened to a random podcast where she was talking about how kind of sad she was when her character died in the first script that she read, but she was really kind of rallying for the character to return. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her pop up again. And The Mandalorian, they're doing a whole bunch of figures from this line. So you will be able to have a whole shelf full of all these characters. I think they're probably going to do a redo of the Boba Fett. So this is all the accessories she comes with, different hands. Looks like she comes with a helmeted head. Looks like maybe she only comes with one head, I believe. Yeah, so it's only one expression. And that one's going to cost you about $270 USD, coming out sometime in 2023 as well. So those are pretty cool.
But that's like the only expression that actress has ever had, even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like that was it.
I think you're right. Yeah. She kind of has always got this kind of mean, I don't know what you would call it, like neutral face.
No, RBF. That's resting bitch face.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of like, I got to look like a badass. I can't crack a smile in either of these roles. Yeah. She's got to be super badass. Yeah. So Sarah shouts out that Cobra Kai is dropping December 31st. Yeah. So it's going to be hard to choose between the two shows, but luckily the Boba Fett is only dropping one episode, so we don't have to choose between which one we're going to binge. So I think we're definitely going to all dive into Cobra Kai. So let's see what else I got. I think I got one more thing here. This one here from the new Planet of the Apes movie, Caesar, I think his name was.
Yep.
Yeah, Caesar 2.0. So I guess they've done a previous version of the statue. So this is a big Mammoth Jamma statue, premium edition. Did you watch these movies, Gord?
Yep.
Yeah, they were good, right? Like kind of like under not really underrated, but kind of for me flew under the radar. Like I didn't watch them in theaters, and then I kind of like would just scroll through Netflix or something and popped it on, and I was like, holy crap, these monkeys are like jumping out of buildings and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It was really a crazy looking movie, and the CGI like incredible.
That's what got me. It was how good the CGI was, and that was the first time I started going back and looking at what the actors look like, and the guy who plays Caesar is like super famous. He does a lot of different characters with the whole rig on where they change his face. He was Smeagol, a couple other like big name.
Yeah. I think he's got that nickname like the Mocap King or something like that. He does like a lot of these types of characters. So that's pretty cool. This one it costs you about $270 USD. Coming out sometime in 2023. So if any of these kind of caught your eye, folks, let me know. I can get you in on the pre-order. We can work out all the details and fun stuff like that. So that's all we got for random stuff that I pulled from the internet for pre-orders. But we're here to chat. So this is an impromptu show. So thanks, folks, for tuning in. Thanks for Gord for jumping in here. We're doing everything last minute. So Gord was nice enough to jump in, and we're just going to kind of talk about what we watched this year. So if you guys have watched any of the new movies in 2021, if you've got your favorites handy, you can start dropping them in the chat. If not, me and Gord are going to try and pinpoint exactly what our favorites were. And we'll probably talk about your favorites. Did you have a list in your head at all, Gord? Do you have something that you go to right away? I don't. You guys saw Spider-Man, right?
Oh,
I feel like Spider-Man is for sure going to be on a lot of people's lists in the top 5 somewhere.
Yeah, that's definitely my top 5. Probably my favorite, just because that. And I don't want to. I know we've already talked about it on the podcast, and you guys have done your full review. But just in case,
well, we haven't heard your thoughts. You and Sarah went to see it. I think you guys aren't quite as geeky as us.
You gave us our homework. We rewatched all 5 Spider-Man movies within that 1 week, and then we ended up watching like the Tobey. I think one of the Tobey movies twice, and the Andrew Garfield movies actually caught me by surprise. Like, I didn't remember
you guys liked them more. Yeah.
I liked them so much more in our rewatch back in October, November. And then to go into that movie, that was just, I would say that's probably my favorite movie of the year, but that's because I have a short-term memory. So it's right, on the tip. And there were a couple of movies that I was really looking forward to this year that just didn't deliver. And that movie just hit everybody. So I'll put that one on the top.
Actually. Of all the things that it was coding that it was going to do, it had a lot. It had a lot to live up to. And even if you don't feel like it knocked it out of the park, it hit all those. It managed to do all those things without becoming a complete mess. So even if it went to only that level, but I feel like, you're 100% right. It went like above and beyond. And I feel like it's going to be like top. I don't know if it might be my best movie of 2021. I guess we'll go through some of the other movies that dropped. But so Lewis has Sarah, like, is she Trevor from Shang-Chi? We're talking about the Planet of the Apes and how they got the apes to do those performances. Lewis hasn't seen Spider-Man. He's going to go watch it tomorrow. So I think he had his original tickets canceled. So he got Thanos snapped out of his original showing and had to go back again.
His tickets got dusted.
Yeah. So and Sarah shouts out, Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield crushed it in that movie. So without giving away too many spoilers, folks, definitely watch that. I guess we'll try not to talk about it because it's still pretty new.
Bring tissue. Bring tissue.
Yeah. Oh man, emotional roller coaster. Literally like, oh, that's awesome. Oh no, that's super sad. That's awesome. That's super sad. But enough about that. So let's try and think of what else you got. The next thing that came to my mind was probably Dune. I think you said you didn't see it yet. So but I think it's going to be in my top 5 just because of how crazy of a cinematic spectacle it was. So I know you said the movie was cursed because of all the failure to launches and that kind of stuff. And you said you're kind of waiting for an opportunity to see it without having to dump the $30 rental. So hopefully you'll get to see it soon. But do you have expectations for it because of all the hype?
Oh, totally. And I think you know what it is? You know why I think I haven't seen it yet? Because I don't want it to be bad. Like I've heard everybody say it's really good. I kind of just want one of those days where it's like snowing out, nowhere to go, nothing to do, can just focus on it, can close the blinds, not have to worry about anything and just kind of get into it because it's pretty long, 2 hours and 35 minutes. And I just want to be immersed completely. And when we didn't go see it in the theater, I think that's really what it comes down to. So I'm waiting on that one for the right time for me to see it so that I can appreciate it as much as I kind of hope it will be. I've seen every version of Dune they've ever made. So
I feel like if I didn't see it in theaters, it's very tempted to kind of like you have other stuff going on in the house or whatever, you stop and you go do something else, so you wouldn't be able to concentrate on it. So I think you're 100% right in the attitude you're taking to go see it. So apologies to Scott. We talked about Dune again. We'll move on from there. Anything? What else do you have on your list from this year? Just this is again off the top of our heads, folks. So we kind of just came up with this last minute.
The new one that just came out, Don't Look Up. It's got the Timothy Chalamet in it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
No, I saw it's now on Netflix, I believe, right?
Yeah, Netflix. Yep.
DiCaprio and who else? Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Yep, a whole bunch of them. Actually, hilarious. Like that was a very sort of funny. We went back and forth on it, but then when we finally actually got a chance to sit down and watch it, it was good. It was very good. I would definitely give that one a watch once you get it. Once you get a second, I think that's probably Nick Jonas at like, or not Jonas. Wow, Jesus. Jonah Hill at like his funniest in a long time. He's just ridiculous and raunchy. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah. Jonah Hill definitely came up as a player when we were watching. What did we watch? The baseball movie. It just slipped my mind completely.
Moneyball.
Moneyball with Brad Pitt. Yeah, I really liked him in that. So, yeah, wow. I'm trying to think if this got a box office release as well. But
I don't think it did. I didn't hear about it in the box office. I think it was a Netflix original and like they kept it. But then again, who knows with what's going on in the States?
Yeah, we'll have to double check that.
So let's fire through a couple of the fun adventure movies that came out because Shang-Chi, thumbs up on that one. That was a good one. Oh, I just got a Ghostbusters. We haven't gotten there yet. Here, reload that burrito.
Yeah. So in the comments, so Gord and Sarah using their copy of Throw Burrito that was obtained at Heroes World. I'm sorry that I missed Sarah picking that up, but also serves a dual purpose as Sarah can get Gord's attention from across the room. It seems. I don't know how much of a distance she's throwing at, but I guess work on that arm, Sarah. Yeah. So Sarah sets out Ghostbusters. I think Lewis also said Ghostbusters was great. As far as movies that really hit you in the heart, I think Ghostbusters definitely hit that mark this year. Like especially that final act. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. I think it felt like it opened and kind of like faded away. And some people just didn't even realize, it came out already type thing. So yeah, I hope people do go see it.
There's a lot of things like that with this wonderful pandemic age that we're in. There's either too much hype or not enough hype, or it's supposed to get released and then it doesn't get released, and then it releases like 6 or 8 months later. And some of these movies were really good and they suffer for it, like Black Widow. How long did that one take to get delivered? That was a good flick. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, although I'll give, after watching Hawkeye, I think I do actually kind of want to go back and at least watch clips from that movie. So shout out to Black Widow. Didn't quite deliver on what it was supposed to, but I think it was still a watchable, fun movie for this year. What else you got for this year, Gord?
Mortal Kombat.
Unfortunately, Mortal Kombat, I don't know if it ranks as my biggest disappointment of the year.
No way.
It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I'm trying to think of what tops it.
The Snyder Cut? No,
I had a fun time with Snyder Cut, but I feel like Mortal Kombat definitely, my expectations for it were maybe a little too high.
Yeah, you see, yes, we rewatched them, and but there were parts of that to me that were so good that I can get rid of the rest of it. And there were other movies that were so much of a bigger disappointment to me than that one, that still lands probably somewhere in like the top 25 favorite movies of the year, but not like, I wouldn't say that one was a flop. Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah. But then again, those are never really that great, but that wasn't that good. Yeah, I watched that on a plane coming home from like Calgary or something and missed the last 20 minutes of it and completely forgot that I saw it, and rewatched the first hour and a half of it, and then realized, oh yeah, I started to watch this, didn't I? I fell asleep the first time. No wonder.
That's a bad sign, Gord. I think I did that for Ride Along 2. I was like, Ride Along 2. And then I like popped it on and started watching it. I'm like, I've already seen this motherfucker. And it was that bad that I erased it from my mind. So yeah, sorry to Kevin Hart and Olivia Munn and Ice Cube. Everybody worked on that movie. But yeah, Ride Along 2 was not that great. Jesse shouts out Snake Eyes. He did enjoy Snake Eyes.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah. At the time when I saw it in theaters, I thought it was pretty fun. Upon reflection, when I try to describe it to people, it sounds kind of whack. But I wouldn't put it in the category of disappointing movies of the year. So yeah, it's okay.
Disappointing movies. Anything with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Cosmic Sin, whatever that other movie he did, that was terrible. So bad.
Oh yeah, I think this is the year of him just cashing in of all he can. Like maybe it's because of COVID, or maybe it's just because he did have a little heat on him for some paparazzo type pics. But maybe he was just like, yeah, let me just make some quick checks and crank out some terrible movies.
Oh, so bad. Did you see Space Sweepers? That was a Netflix Korean movie. That was actually really good. That was good. That was a fun one.
Was it called City Sweepers?
Sweepers, yeah.
Oh, Space Sweepers. Trying to see if I can get on the screen for everybody to check out.
Space Jam was a terrible movie.
Yeah, did you watch it? I noticed it was on Crave just today.
No, somebody would have to like straight up Clockwork Orange me to make me watch that. Get me in the chair, strap me down, keep my eyes open, eyedroppers, the whole nine. I don't think I've ever seen the first one, let alone we watched that one. Yeah, see Lewis what's up.
Yeah, I think I did see this pop up. I think I did see it pop up on my Netflix, and people were talking about it. So yeah,
what was that? What was the one that Nicolas Cage did with the puppets?
Oh, I know a lot of people are raving about Pig, but that was the other one. That was the horror themed one, right?
He had Pig, he had Prisoners of Ghostland, and then he had one other movie right at the beginning of the year. Willy's Wonderland. Thank you.
Yeah.
Burrito. Got her. Yeah.
So Willy's Wonderland 2021, mature audiences only for this particular flick.
If you've got nothing else to do with the day, maybe, but like, definitely don't pay for this one. I mean, I forget which service is on, but I know you can rent it now. That was pretty good. It wasn't like it was. That would not have landed on our best of Nicolas Cage list, right? That was one of those ones that I saw the preview for. The preview was really good, and I was like, "Oh, this might be great." And then it just turned out to be absolute pants.
Yeah, I think we were going to try. I think we were going to try and get you to squeeze it in, but I guess it didn't quite make the cut. But yeah, Nicolas Cage is like going on like this tear of like artsy kind of offbeat movies. So
what was his new? He did a new movie that's
he's playing himself.
Like, he's playing himself.
Yeah,
that looks incredible.
Yeah, it looks pretty hilarious. Actually, I can pull it up here. Hold on, Nicolas Cage.
I do kind of want to see Prisoners of Ghostland when that one comes out on one of the streaming services.
The new one is called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And that's coming out in 2022, where Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. So very, very meta, and it might work. I feel like it's going to work for him.
Listen, it's Nicolas Cage. Every now and again, when he does one of those things, it strikes a chord, and I'm super happy to watch it. I think they end up being a lot of fun.
All right.
Question: Did you see that Chaos Walking movie?
No, that's all you, man.
Oh, really? You know what's funny? That actually wasn't bad. I watched that one night. I was kind of on the fence a little bit about it. But that was actually pretty good. It was an interesting storyline. It was an interesting concept. They did it really well. Tom Holland did a pretty good job. The girl did a pretty good job. Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley from Force Awakens.
Yeah. Mads Mikkelsen, who I've got nothing but time for because that dude is awesome.
It's got Kurt Sutter in it of Sons of Anarchy and the Shield fame. I wonder, is he a character in it? He doesn't have a rope on it.
He was.
It says Cillian or something like that.
Yeah, he was one of the good. Like, yeah, this wasn't a bad movie, man. I would recommend
it's got a pretty good, like a pretty solid cast. So hey, man, if you're saying it's a decent watch, and you're looking for more Tom Holland action, I don't think you can go wrong with it. It's got a really cool looking cover. So we'll see. Director Doug Liman. I feel like that's a name we know, or I should know. Edge of Tomorrow, Swingers, Born Identity. There we go. All right. Yep. So he's big name.
So Venom. So then let's just jump to some of these other big action movies. Venom.
Yeah.
Let There Be Carnage.
No, that's at the bottom. That's not going to be on my top 5 at least.
Oh, definitely not on top 5. I think that one's teetering for me between a disappointment and, you know, Venom was like my favorite character from the Spider-Verse. Like, and I thought they did a good job translating him, but I don't know. When I look back on it, Suicide Squad was better than Venom.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that was more enjoyable.
Yeah, Venom I did enjoy at the time in theaters. I feel like this is a trend though. I feel like anything I go to the theater experience, go with a couple friends or whatever, and you just have fun. And the movie kind of gets elevated in that environment. But I think for 100%, if you put Venom and Suicide Squad head to head, Venom loses hands down to Suicide Squad. Would Suicide Squad be in your top 5 maybe?
No.
It was a fun watch.
Yeah, it was a good watch.
Fun watch.
I don't think I'd go back and rewatch that one again. I wouldn't put it that high this year. There were a couple other ones that came out that I thought were much better. The Harder They Fall, for example.
Yeah.
That was one of those ones that just caught me off guard. I know I'm going to end up rewatching that a few times. That was such a good movie. The music, the color, the characters, just everything was so well done. I thought everybody did an awesome job in that movie.
Yeah. One of those movies that didn't get, but we did cover it in one of our other episodes, folks. So if you want to check that out, but the other panelists, Stu and Rob, didn't quite like it. But I think you, myself, Sarah, and a couple of the others did dig it. And that soundtrack, I've got it on my Spotify. I pop it on now and again, and I think I am gonna. It just, I could hear what the criticisms are for it, but for some reason, just the characters that they created and those actors and actresses that participated in it, they just got to do cool things in it. So I definitely will watch it to see those characters again. So is it in my top 5? I don't know about that, but it definitely if we start accounting in like Gord, how much does rewatchability factor into when you start rating a movie, or can you just rate a movie on like, I saw it one time, that's it? Or does it just like, oh, I can't wait to watch it again? Does that just go, okay, that's when I start giving it higher praise?
That if because I watch so much stuff, you know, that if something does actually pop up that I'm like, ooh, I'm looking forward to watching that again, I realize like, wow, I must really like that. So for me to want to be looking forward to rewatching something means that it hit a note with me. It's definitely higher up on that list. Because there were a couple movies that I really liked, but do I need to watch them again? Probably not. And so does that mean that in 5 years from now, I'm going to remember it? Yeah, kind of. There'll be parts of it, but not.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a combination of two. It needs a rewatchability factor and or some type of world or lore building that kind of either gives you potential for multiple movies to work, or just the world that it's created kind of makes you want to go back to it and revisit that world, which is when everyone else sees The Matrix. I'm interested to hear what people think about that one. What about Fast and the Furious 8, 9?
9.
9?
9. It was 9.
It was 9. It was 9 this year. It was one of the first movies I went to go to the theater to watch. But I don't think I've ever had the desire to rewatch it. Do you think it ends up anywhere on your list, best or worst, or it just is in the middle, kind of forgotten?
Completely forgotten. Like I was looking at the posters, like, did I see that? I don't even know if I remember this one. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I did see it. I did watch the preview to remember it. But that's like, but again, to your point, the world building and like the sort of continuous storyline Fast and Furious is something that whether I love each individual movie or not, I know at some point I will end up rewatching either parts of them or just the whole thing because they are enjoyable. They are so outlet. That's the one where they go into space, isn't it? Yeah. That's the one with the space Fiero.
They take the Fiero up into space.
See, I will rewatch that scene because that is so ridiculous. Anybody who's ever owned or worked on a Fiero will know that is just the most ridiculous like storyline you could possibly imagine.
My dad had one, and I thought it was the coolest thing when I was a kid. And I think he only kept it a couple months because it was he was like and he was good with cars and stuff like that. But for some reason, he just couldn't keep it running, and it was gone. I thought it was a Ferrari because I couldn't read that well. You know, oh, my dad's got a Ferrari, and then someone came, it's a Fiero, dummy. I'm like, all right, great. It looks cool. I think I rode in it once, and the car had a very short life time in our stable. But you know what? I'm sure they're all coming up now, and people are doing fun things with them and swapping all kinds of
most of those things got junked, and they were so bad, and the frames were atrocious. It was the first time GM tried it, or not the first time, but it was like one of the rare times that GM tried to do a mid-rear configuration. They were just terrible. The one there was one version of it right towards the end that was pretty decent, had a good body kit on it, fuel injection, but like some of those early versions of the Fiero from mid 80s were just terrible cars.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the first cars I actually remember going to a junkyard and like watching it get crushed and being like,
you just see the carcasses of it like lining the junkyard. Oh, but yeah, all right. So shout outs to the old Fiero. Rest in peace. And if you guys are tuning them up, God bless you. No Time to Die. Yeah, ooh. No Time to Die has been mentioned in the comments a couple times. I feel like I'm only going to rewatch one scene, maybe two scenes from that movie. But it's still overall, I did enjoy it. You guys, did you guys see it, or did you skip this one?
Not yet. That's not high on my list of like got to run to the theater to see it. I do like James Bond movies. I've got to be in the mood for them, and not like in the mood like I want to be in the mood for Dune. It's a different kind of movie, and I've seen a lot, and I know the storyline, and I do like all the old Bonds. It's just I don't think that's one that Sarah's ever going to want to watch. That's not going to jump out at her and be like, "Ooh, can't wait to see it." So that I'll get around to it, but
she should watch the one scene. If she's a fan of women kicking ass, then she has to watch the one scene that I'm talking about in that, and that girl's going to appear in all kinds of stuff in the future. I think she's got a bright future ahead of her, just because of her sheer charm on the screen. So yeah, Lewis, I'm not James Bond. I kind of became a James Bond fan, and then a couple movies didn't deliver. So I think I'm gonna heavily promote the Mission Impossible rewatch. So I think I'm more of an Ethan Hunt fan than a James Bond. So Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Jesse shouts out that he thought Matrix was amazing. That's good to hear. I'm very interested to hear what everybody thinks of Matrix. So when you guys watch it, let me know. Sarah, definitely not a James Bond fan. What else are we missing from this year that was either great hype?
The Tomorrow War. That was a surprise.
Tomorrow War. Yes, that was Chris Pratt.
Yep. That was the Amazon
alien invasion type film. Went straight to I think Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was way better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I guess that was one of the first like just purely Amazon Prime movies that I was really aware of. I was like, oh wow, okay, there's an Amazon studio just for Amazon Prime release. I've seen it twice. It was really good. Actually, the second time I watched it, I liked it more. So
yeah. I would imagine during second time there's a little bit more kind of unlocked because of the nature of the movie. There is kind of like a time travel-y type themes in it. So if you haven't seen it, it's a very fun movie. And I thought the action, like especially the first action where he kind of first drops in and he's leading them through like basically just an alien, almost Tomorrow Never Dies, Starship Troopers kind of fighting these things off. I thought that was really exciting. So I think in the theaters, if I went to see that in the theaters, I would have been pretty happy with paying for that ticket. So. Yep. It's a shame that some of these movies didn't quite get to live up to their full potential in this current state of things. But we'll see what the future holds. Maybe they'll get a follow-up.
Did you see The Green Knight?
I did not watch that one. So I know Sarah was not a fan of it. She already made it clear in the comments. Stu pegged it for one of his favorite movies of the year that we did not cover in our content. So Gord, what did you think of The Green Knight, this crazy art house movie from this studio that releases a lot of movies of this kind of caliber that kind of carry a lot of kind of weight to them?
I was not prepared for what I got. I think I went into it thinking that we were going to get an action movie, and you know, it's not that. It was very cool. It was beautiful to look at. I really highly doubt I will ever spend that much time rewatching it. There were certain parts of it that I was like, oh wow, this is really good, and there was a moral to the story, and the second act was pretty strong, and the final act was good. But all in all, that I was going in expecting something so much more that it would actually end up on my list of letdowns, although it wasn't a bad movie. It was just my experience with it wasn't what I was hoping for. So
maybe the book, maybe you would enjoy a book version of it more, or just like you said, in a different mindset.
Yeah, if somebody had given me a little bit of a dip, like if the trailer had been a little bit different. And I don't know, I don't know what it was. I was so excited. Rob and I were talking about it, you know, in the DMs a few times, and then I watched it and was like, oh. Okay.
even Rob, who was super excited.
You see how close that burrito is? Oh, I got her.
But you never know, especially like if you guys were using it as like a date night type movie, right? Like
we tried a date afternoon. You know, it was intentionally that, and about 15 minutes into it, I look over. That's Sarah. Yeah. She's just
which is fine.
Like this, and then she was out. She was like, this
yeah,
is
which
boring.
is fine. But if you were expecting, you know, something fun that you could enjoy together, it didn't quite work.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, Sarah also did quite enjoy Tomorrow War. Jesse mentions the Fear Street movies, which I didn't get a chance to watch, but I know you guys are big, or you were a big fan of these movies. What essentially is this Fear Street? Is it just a throwback horror movie?
No, it was 3 separate movies that tied in the same sort of storyline across. It had that like Are You Afraid of the Dark vibe to it, and sort of the hacker slasher 70s movies, and then the witch era, like that hit on every note. That was one of those sets of movies that I did not expect that were so good. We ended up, I think we did watch those twice, didn't we? Yeah, we watched those twice. That was really good. Thank you for bringing that one up, Jesse. That one, all 3 of them. Yeah, I got to agree with you on that one.
And those are original Netflix movies too, I believe. So if Netflix keeps making content like that, I think they're on the right track, because that really hits for specific genres, I feel. But I do want to check one out. Everyone recommended it to me when we were doing our horror movies. I still want to go back. Yeah. I still want to go back and watch Evil Dead 2. So Gord, I'm going to call you up when I do that. But yeah, so yeah, what's up, Jacob? You're shouting out Matrix Resurrections. So yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to hearing what people think of Matrix Resurrections. I suspect it's going to be very divided, but I'm very interested to see who kind of ends up on which side. Not to judge you per se, just to see kind of how this works for people. Jesse shouts out the Lady in Heaven movie that I don't know if it's some type of spam bot or something like that. Every time we do a trailer reaction, in the comments is someone asking us to watch Lady in Heaven. So if anyone hasn't checked that out, go check it out and let us know what you think they're trying to do. If it's some type of bot, it's like some type of a religion based, or I don't even know how to describe it. I think people got to check it out and let us know exactly what do they legit want us to watch this movie, or is it some weird troll or something? I don't know.
I will do some sleuthing tonight and figure it out. I know it's not. Yeah. I know we're talking about movies, not TV shows, but did you watch Hellbound?
What's it called?
Hellbound.
Hellbound. No.
A Netflix series. Interesting concept. Kind of cool. I would definitely recommend people check that one out. I started the first episode 2 or 3 times, and then ended up getting into it. It was fun. By the end of it, it was fun. If you haven't seen it and you've got nothing else, but I would throw The Expanse and like all the new shows that are coming out right now up before this one. But it was an interesting concept. I don't want to.
I remember seeing it pop up on my Netflix. So one of the great things about Netflix is they always have a very clear what's new, what's trending, and all that kind of list. So I feel like the other streaming services aren't as clear on those things, so they could benefit from copying that template that Netflix has. But yeah, that's another foreign Korean production. So like I did mention in one of our other podcasts that I do like how these Korean shows or movies are filmed. They have a very different feel to it, and it looks like they do a lot of stuff on location. The stuff that I've seen, at least. So they don't use it like, I guess, the sound stages as much as North Americans do, or something like that. I don't know. Have you pinpointed anything particular in the style? Because I know you and Sarah like particularly kind of seem to, or at least it seems like you guys kind of like these types of shows, or is it just in the genres that you like typically?
I think there's something about the way they tell their stories that I enjoy. It's their character development. They're always kind of very moody, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like there's something about their storytelling style that I find really intriguing, and their stories are usually very like there's a lot of character development. There's a lot of time sort of building. You never get those. You do get good graphics. They do produce. The production is always really good on a lot of those Korean shows. It's always exceptional, actually. Yeah. I feel like they're the new Hollywood East, right? Like they're just producing. I find that is probably like a third of the new shows that I've started watching I'm watching them either with subtitles or with alternate audio. But yeah, there's a lot of good shows when I think back on it. I'm trying to get into that Dr. Brain on Apple TV. I started watching that a little bit, but haven't actually gone all the way through it. But there were so many, like when we think about TV shows, there were so many good TV shows this year. Wheel of Time just ended. We're getting the last season of oh man, now I can't think of it. Expanse. I don't know if you watched Foundation. Foundation was way better than I thought it was going to be. A little slow in the middle and then ended really strong. Parts of The Never were really good. I mean, so many good shows.
Yeah. No, the TV shows are what I'm kind of probably most behind on. But Wheel of Time, I did watch episode 1. Are you caught up on it? Have you watched
I'm not saying a word.
No?
Yes,
okay.
I've seen the whole thing. And I will have to go back and watch the whole thing start to finish at some point, just to sort of give it its due. Dexter's fantastic. Yeah. Dexter's probably the one of those TV shows that I was not super excited for, that now every week we're like right on the edge of our seat.
Yeah, I remember when that show first debuted, it was just crazy to have this type of character be the hero of your show. But now we have shows like this. We have shows like You and things like that are kind of crazy. Yeah, You season 1 kind of effed me up. That was pretty dark. So if you haven't watched those, and you're expecting just Gossip Girl, be prepared. Be prepared for something quite different. So much like the Korean shows that we've talked about, or shows from the overseas, they're kind of hitting these genres that are not big over here. Yeah. So Expanse, Louis shuts out The Expanse. Everyone shuts out The Expanse. I tried to watch the first episode of the new season. Way too lost to do that. Yeah. So I have to go back and figure out a way to catch up on those. Was there any movies that we forgot to mention?
Oh my God, so many, man. Yeah. So did you see? So let's go with comedies real fast. Did you see Thunder Force? That was the one. No. Oh, what was her name? Melissa McCarthy and.
Okay, yeah, I remember it now. Yeah.
Yep. Octavia Spence, Jason Bateman, Bobby Cannavale. Hilarious. That was a very funny movie that we watched in the middle of an afternoon one day. Why are you hitting me? That was good. You laughed at that. Anyway,
was it laughing because it was good or laughing because it was bad? But hey, you know what? I think
they get superpowers. It was kind of funny.
This movie got some rough treatment, but sometimes you just want like something fun, like a fun filler for your afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes movies like this, I feel like you have to judge them on a different scale.
Another letdown, Jolt. I'm thinking of comedies, but that movie was a letdown.
Jolt is the who's the star of that? That was the Amazon Prime one, right?
Yep. Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, and she has the problem that she goes uber violent unless she gets like an electric shock.
Yeah.
To her chest, and it had Michael J. Courtney or something like that as this kind of like fake out. But yeah, I 100% do not recommend that one either.
No.
It started off good for a second. And it came out the same time as I think Gunpowder Milkshake and a bunch of movies like kind of like around that style. So I don't know if they planned to drop them all, and they're like, yeah, these movies are kind of like semi-similar. Let's drop them all. But yeah, Jolt did not jolt. Did not work.
Yeah, you can put Gunpowder Milkshake on that list of movies that just was garbage.
No, yeah.
Garbage. The afterlife of the party, that was better than both of those other movies, and that movie was so bad. Yeah. I don't even know why we watched.
Have you watched it? So Jacob mentions that Dexter was good, but have you seen the show Barry, starring Bill Hader?
Yes.
Yeah,
we did watch that. Actually, Barry was good.
Yeah. What's it about again? He's like a trained killer, but he gets into acting or something.
Yep. Oh man, that's funny. We watched that relatively quickly. Yeah, that was the HBO. That was an older show. But we watched it this year. Yeah, because
I feel like it got a newer season. That's why.
Yeah, it got a second season, and that's why. And we saw the second season, and then we watched all of them. Man, COVID is bad. I've watched so much stuff. It's unreal. I'm like flipping through these pages, like saw it. Don't even want to talk about it.
Did you guys get to either two movies that got mentioned to me? Kate was one of them. I heard it was decent. Or The Protege with Maggie Q. Did you guys get to either of those?
Let me see really quick. Let's see what this one looks like. No. Maggie Q. I did see Kate. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we watched that one. That was actually not bad. She did a really good job as the lead in that one. And that was pretty to watch. Like, that was the one she's got the girl next door and she ends up I did like that one. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She did a good job. Woody Harrelson.
I remember seeing it pop up, and a lot of people during the week of when it came out, they were like, "Hey, Kate's actually not bad." So that's pretty cool. And then the other one was Protege with Maggie Q and Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Keaton. Same director or Martin Campbell. I think he's a somebody.
That one I didn't see.
Yeah, I see it on the Blu-ray racks when I stop by Walmart the odd time, and it always catches my eye. But I feel like this guy Martin Campbell, Casino Royale. So I thought maybe it was worth checking out because of that. And I think during a podcast he was talking about James Bond and then talking about this Protege movie. So Kate is just a vivid memory for Sarah.
Did you see Finch, that Tom Hanks movie?
No. Good, just bad, ugly.
Yeah, that was a tearjerker. That was a good Tom Hanks movie, but I'm glad I have both burritos. I would be getting hit with one of those. Spoiler alert on that one. Yeah, it was like a post-apocalyptic, hellscape. Tom Hanks is living alone. He's got a dog. He built a robot. It's cute. There are good parts to it. And there's also some really there's a sad overtone through the whole movie where you're like, oh God, this is just this is gonna end like that.
And you're like, don't kill the robot, don't kill the dog, don't do it.
Like, oh man. Oh. Anyway, we'll come back to that one later. The Werewolves Within. Do you remember that? Did that one hit your radar at any point this year?
No, I'm gonna find a picture.
You're gonna pull that one up. I saw some weird stuff, man. I'm not.
I feel like you go pretty deep, Gord. So you know what?
Hey, see, there you go.
The picture looks cool. It looks cool, so I can see why you would have clicked this or put this on your watch list. Sam Richardson. I feel like I know him from something.
It was fun.
It's fun.
That was a fun movie. Yep, that was definitely. On a snowy day, I would give that one another go. I would have no qualms rewatching that one.
Oh, Sam Richardson. Okay, I know this guy. Yeah.
Did you see the Witcher movie? I'm just gonna keep rapid firing, man. You said movies of 2021. We gotta.
You're talking about the animated one, right?
Nightmare of the Wolf.
No. I want to watch it. I think Jesse recommended it during Andre and Jesse's show on Fridays to watch that, because I think it does have a lot of lead-ins and parts that get shown off in season 2. So having tanked through the entire season 1 of Witcher, I am a fan of this particular character. It looks like your episode started playing for it.
because my Netflix knows that on default it just has to go back to The Witcher.
So
season two got me. I liked the first season. I thought it was good. I was like, oh cool, well I can't wait. Season 2 came out and I sort of watched the first 3 episodes, saw the movie one night, fell asleep on it, finished the next day. Season 2 came out. I watched the first 2 episodes of season 2, went back in 2 days, rewatched all of the first season and the movie, and then season 2. I was riding my bike a lot.
Okay. Do you recommend? That's awesome that you get a dual purpose. I wish I would set that up so I could feel like I'm doing something while I'm watching all
one game, the other TV.
Would you watch the movie before?
You have to
watching season 2. So it's in between season 1 and season 2. So highly recommended. Jacob, we know we're definitely looking forward to Cobra Kai.
Don't even message me on that day. Sarah and I are gonna sit down. We'll be up early. We're gonna watch that whole thing, start to finish. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Our sit muscles are strong. We can go for hours. What other ones were out this year? There were some good horror movies. We saw some good stuff. Just trying to think.
I'm trying to think. The Free Guy was a fun one. We saw that together. That was awesome for that alone. But the movie didn't really stick in my brain as much as something like a Ready Player One. I feel like I would more so rewatch that than Free Guy.
I find that happens with a lot of Ryan Reynolds stuff. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just sitting there Ryan Reynolds. Yay.
Yeah. Hell entertaining, but I feel like you're satisfied with just watching whatever the next thing he's in. So Red Notice follows up, and then you'll just watch whatever he drops into. You're just like, oh, I saw Ryan Reynolds, it's great, but I don't think he's quite got to that gotten that movie that you're just like, I gotta, unless we go back and rewatch Van Wilder or something along those lines. I haven't seen that in a million years, but that's the movie. That's my go-to movie when I think about him.
We did rewatch. I rewatched that I think this year at some point, and man, that movie was just so good. And he's done a lot of really good stuff, but he's developed this character, and he's always the same thing. So for me, unfortunately, I hate to say this, Red Notice was a giant flop. Just didn't. There was no part of that movie that makes me want to see it again.
Yeah, very, very, very phoned in. Overall, if you think about it, I feel. You got anything else for 2020?
Did you see Escape Room? Escape Room 2, I should say.
No. These are a lot of horror-ish movies, right?
Yeah, that's not your bag, but
Escape Room, typically my genre.
If you liked the first one, they upped the ante. They turned the dial up properly on Escape Room 2. Did you see Raya and the Last Dragon? Did you check that out?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
So good. Such a good Disney flick.
That was They rewatch it sometimes. Anyone else who has kids, they kind of get hooked on a movie. So shout outs to all you parents who've seen Frozen in the double digits, but Raya the Last Dragon in the double digits. I'm not even mad. I'll definitely watch that one.
Yeah.
I would have liked another maybe 15 to 20 minutes of character development of the other girl, the girl, her rival. I forgot who all the characters' names are, but I would have liked a little bit more exploration in that character. But as a movie, yeah, that's definitely up there. I don't know if did you guys watch Trolls World Tour?
No, we didn't see that one.
It keeps coming up in conversation because my buddy Pat is a big Anna Kendrick fan, and I'm like, yo, you should watch this movie. And then sometimes we get into it about music, and the movie is actually a really good commentary on how pop music kind of starts just pulling everything in, and you don't get kind of like the differences in it. So I do actually think people should give it a try and watch it. It's pretty fun, and you got Justin Timberlake. And everybody, all kinds of people appear in it. Kelly Clarkson, Mary J. Blige, all kinds of stuff. So,
Boss Level. Did you see that?
No, I wanted to.
Good movie, actually. Yeah. When we rented that in the beginning when it first came out, I ended up watching that one twice. That was fun. Did you see a movie called Sweet Girl?
I did not.
Jason Momoa, pull that one up real quick.
I saw the poster for it.
Yeah, that I would recommend that to people. That had some.
This actually looked like it was in my. Oh, did I watch it? No, I definitely didn't watch it. But it looked like it was in my wheelhouse. So I think I'm gonna have to put this on my list to watch. I did watch that one with Dave Bautista in it. I forgot what he was. He's like the bodyguard for some girl or something.
Yeah, the bodyguard for the little girl.
Yeah. And it was okay. He was okay.
Yeah, but it's Bautista. I'll watch him all day. Nobody. That definitely lands on my top list. Top 5. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. That was really, really good. Those Who Wish Me Dead, terrible. Terrible.
I know the name.
Movie.
Oh yeah.
No, just so bad. Army of the Dead, and Army of Thieves. Where did that fall on your list?
It falls under it falls somewhere in the middle of it's not the worst, it's not the best, but the world that they've created gives it potential. Oh wait, Army of Thieves is the Army of the Dead is the main movie, right? Army of Thieves was a spin-off. Yeah. It gets lost in the middle somewhere, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it did show some pretty good production values overall. Like it looked exceptionally well for a Netflix dedicated movie. But yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna be forgotten, unfortunately.
Wrath of Man.
Oh, Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie. Yeah, somewhere in the middle. I'd rather rewatch any of Ritchie's other films. I felt like we should have done a Snatch rewatch or something like that. I love that movie.
I will always rewatch that.
Yeah. I'll fight you for it.
That soundtrack, man. That soundtrack is so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That got me on I remember having that on mini disc player on my mini discs.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was trying to find my player the other day. So I could try and dig up my old discs. But one of your favorite Brad Pitt roles, you think? Snatch?
Yeah,
are you a Fight Club guy? I feel like people are like that or Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club for sure. But then, man, he's turned into such a good character actor. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I only saw that this year. Yeah.
Oh, there were so many good movies that he's done. Did you see Don't Breathe? No, never mind. You wouldn't have seen Don't Breathe too. I know you wouldn't have seen that.
These are all clear horror movie names. Don't breathe. Don't live. No escape.
Forever Purge.
Don't escape.
Yeah, no. As soon as I started asking the question, I'm like, that's a dumb question.
I was intrigued by whatever that latest Purge movie was.
The Forever Purge.
Yeah, with the it had like a Western feel to it. I don't know if you got around to seeing that one, but that one at least caught my eye.
No, that honestly at that point it's gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's rare for me to say. I loved the Purge franchise. I thought it was so good. But nah, that one you can skip. Jake Gyllenhaal, The Guilty.
Oh, I wanted to see that. That was a Netflix one, I think, right?
That was really good. I was very surprised by that one. Like that's one of those Jake Gyllenhaal where he just like overacts in the right way. You know, like he goes too far into the character, and I don't know. He's one of the few actors that I feel like at times he goes so far into the character that you actually realize that he's no longer the character. It's Jake Gyllenhaal playing the character, playing Jake Gyllenhaal playing the character, where you're like, dude, just like dial it back a tiny bit.
I feel like I do like him when he gets there. Like I remember, what was that one? Nightcrawler? I don't know if you ever saw Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler and Southpaw. Incredible movies. Like he's just your skin crawls during Nightcrawler. You know, like you just feel like he's completely messed up. And Southpaw, just if you like soundtracks, definitely gotta like that soundtrack. That soundtrack was amazing. But yeah, just so into the role. Let's go stupid cheesy. Love Hard. You should watch that one. That one is really fun.
As far as rom-coms go, I think that was a fun one. I think that was fun, and it was really kind of on the button for things going on today, with especially like the youth and what they have to kind of put up with, this like, you know, catfishing type of presenting yourself as someone else. So yeah, shout out to that one. Yeah, I think not a lot of rom-coms get out there anymore. I feel like it's all designated to Netflix and those Hallmark movies and stuff like that, or maybe even just TV shows now. Maybe they're all kind of becoming
Hallmark, man.
Oh, yeah,
the rom-com factory. Did you see Old?
I didn't watch that. I don't even know if Rob watched that, and he was like hype trained for it. That was the one where they're on the island and they get older the longer they stay on it. Worth watching.
It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like, definitely check it out. There were parts of it. What? Throw. Ooh, pineapple butt. I win. Too many things are gonna get thrown around here. That falls in the middle on the M. Night Shyamalan scale for me. Did you see Last Night in Soho? Have you seen that yet?
No, that was one of the ones we missed. That one did open in theaters, and I feel like it was around the time that. So
I think I took a battleship on that one. Are you okay?
This is where Gord's feed immediately cuts off.
There's gonna be a burrito. Just take out the camera.
I think you need something slightly softer if you guys are really gonna go crazy with this.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing Last Night in Soho. Haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
I can keep going, man. There's so many, but I know we're got to be close to an hour, aren't we?
Yeah. I think we're wrapping up. Yeah, unless anyone's got like a last minute thing in the comments. Shout out to Jacob. He did mention a couple of the movies that that we mentioned before. The Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, and the unbearable weight of something talent or whatever. Anytime a movie is over 2 words long, it loses me.
Yes, it was nice knowing you too, Lewis.
Yeah.
I think I got a direct hit on that one.
Okay. Anything that you missed, that like what's on the top of your list that you maybe missed this year that you're really gonna watch? Is it like The Matrix maybe or Dune or something like that? What kind of goes to the top of your list if I said, hey, you got to catch one of these movies before the year wraps up?
The Matrix, 100%. And if you haven't seen Far From No Way Home, go see Spider-Man for sure. And then obviously Dune. Like those 3 still feel like the biggest movies for the year, and 2 of them I haven't seen yet, which I still have time. Yeah. Don't worry.
You still got a little bit of time, especially you tanked all those other shows so quickly, so you can definitely get through those movies there. I'm trying to think of what I have to watch, but I don't know. I definitely want to wrap up Witcher season 2 before the new year if I can. And then we're on to Boba Fett, like, because there's going to be like a lot of stuff coming. Boba Fett, Cobra Kai, like we mentioned, so many things just on the horizon. I think I'm going to watch that Sweet Girl that you recommended. I forgot that one fell off my radar, and I still haven't seen Tenet from 2020, so I don't know where that should end up on my list.
Oh wow, you haven't seen? Oh, that's a tough one. You got to give that one a little bit of time. Like that's a very thought-provoking movie.
Mm-hmm.
House of Gucci. Yep, Sarah saw that one, said it was really good. You know what we watched not too long ago that I would save everybody from is The Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
Western movie. It was very pretty. It was a good, like, can't knock it too hard. Cumberbatch did a great job, but it just, I don't know. I don't know. I
did see this pop up on I think it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
And all the Western stuff going on. You're like, hey, I could see why you would have thought this was a winner. Benedict Cumberbatch, Kristen Dunst. Yeah. So it looks like it should have been at least something. So shout out to the House of Gucci. How was Lady Gaga in it, Sarah? If you don't mind, I think she is slowly becoming one of those people that I like to watch her in everything. They did a documentary recently. I think she did a show with Frank Sinatra or something. She out? Yeah.
No, there you go.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so whenever I see her Gaga in interviews and stuff like that, she's amazing. So I feel like I should just be following things that she's doing. So shout outs to her. Thank you everybody for tuning in, shouting out movies that you watched this year or that we should watch this year and letting us know what your favorites are. Thank you, Gord, for hopping on for this last minute just kind of like romp through our 2021, even though I'm sure there's more stuff that we could talk about for sure. And shout out to everybody who decided to join us in the chat. Thank you very much, folks. And I guess we'll hopefully, Rob will be back next week and we'll be talking about fun things that we want to do for the upcoming year, including we did 80s bracket last year and closed it up at the beginning of this year. We have always talked about doing a 90s bracket. The Matrix just came out, and the original Matrix came out in 1999 and changed action movies. I feel like for
change movies.
Yeah, change the way movies are done. So I think our 90s bracket is going to take us right up to the point where that movie came out, so we can only pick movies before then. But we'll chat about that. So people start thinking about your favorite 90s movies and what they meant to you. Have your lists ready, or just have suggestions ready for us to start throwing things onto the board and hopefully start rewatching some of these treasures. I think a good chunk, like I love those 80s movies. Gord, you love 80s movies too? Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah. I love them, but yeah, some of them are very fueled by nostalgia. Whereas these 90 movies, we did touch some of them. Point Break, and a couple other movies, we kind of touched them, and they all stand up very well, because I feel like that's more of like the leveling up of the action genre, where you got a little bit more than just explosions and big guys with muscles. So we're probably going to hit that up in the next week or two. If not, maybe I'll try and get some advance notice, and we'll try and throw another movie on if Rob can't make it next week. But thank you, everybody. Thank you again so much, Gord. Thank you, Sarah, throwing burritos at you in the background. Thank you, Lewis. Everybody in the chat. I think Jesse was in there. Thank you, Jacob. I don't think Scott was available today, so shout out to Scott. I know we mentioned Dune a couple times in here, so apologies. So I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Miss seeing you all already, and it's only been a couple days. And I hope everyone's going to have a fantastic new year. So if I don't see you before then, Gord, Sarah in the background there, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, and we'll talk again soon. Any parting words, Gord?
Yeah, man. Don't forget, you guys do this, every Monday? 8:15, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, every Monday. It's typically around 8:15. Today we rolled at 8:45 because Gord was kind enough to hop on with me because I'm not ready to do a one-man show. I don't think you guys want me blankly staring at the screen going, waiting for the chat to pop up.
we were bombing through one of the shows, Superstore or something, and I was falling asleep, and my circadian rhythm just woke me up because I was like, it's Monday, even though it's a holiday. We should be hopping on right now. Like, I should be on my phone, and why isn't this happening? And then Sarah was like, does anybody want to help? I'm like, I'm in.
Let's do this. No, I as soon as you guys were like, we're doing it, I jumped at the opportunity because I definitely miss you guys. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll talk soon. See you guys on the next one.